Very good morning, students. In this video session, we are going to learn about redundant array of independent disk, shortly referred as RAID. So RAID is nothing but collection of disks where you can just store your data. Earlier, RAID was actually referred as redundant array of inexpensive disks. So RAID has mainly two purposes. So using RAID, we can improve the reliability and also we can improve the performance, or we can just increase the reliability and improve the performance. These are the two reasons why we are going for RAID. So we can just improve the reliability. Reliability in the sense, whenever we store some data, the data should be highly available. Right? At any cost, we should not lose our data. So it should be highly available. So your RAID addresses this reliability. And how this reliability is being improved? By using a concept called redundancy. As everyone might be familiar with the term redundancy, storing the same information multiple times in multiple disks. So through redundancy, we can improve the reliability. Now one additional information regarding this redundancy is, we should not consider that just storing the same data again is redundancy. Not just the same data can be a redundant one. Even if you store some additional information along with your actual data, even that can be considered as a redundant information. Okay. Say for example, I am just storing some data. Now for that data, I am just storing an additional information, some additional information. Even that can be considered as a redundant information. So through redundancy, we can improve the reliability. Then we can improve the parallelism. In RAID, we can improve the parallelism. We can improve the performance through parallelism. Okay. Say for example, if you want to write a huge volume of data, what we can do in RAID is, you can just segregate the data into several parts, and you can just store these several parts simultaneously in the disks. Since you have multiple disks, you can just store it parallelly. So performance is improved by means of parallelism. Okay. There is a process called striping. Striping means splitting the data into parts, and you can store each part in each disks. So that concept is called as striping. And there are two types of striping: bit level striping and other one is block level striping. Bit level striping means you are just segregating the data into each bits. You are just splitting the data into each bits, and you are storing each bit in each disk. So that concept is referred as bit level striping. And the second one, block level striping, means splitting the data into blocks. Say for example, you have 16 MB of data. You can split into 4 MB. Okay, so 4 MB of 4 parts. 4 MB with 4 parts. Okay, so totally you will be having 16 MB data, right? So now this 4 parts or 4 blocks is being stored in 4 disks. Okay, so this is what referred as block level striping. Okay, now we shall elaborately discuss about the RAID. Actually, this RAID concept is being presented in different versions. Okay, or different levels. Okay, starting from RAID level 0 to RAID level 6, even some advanced RAID levels are available, but we are going to concentrate on the first 7 levels, RAID level 0 to RAID level 6. So every RAID level has its own characteristics. So based on our requirement, we can choose the appropriate RAID level, right? So now let us discuss about these RAID levels one by one. First, let us concentrate on the RAID level 0. In RAID level 0, there is no redundancy. Okay. So whenever we want to store some data, we will be striping the data into blocks, and each blocks will be stored in each disks. Say for example, in your RAID you may have 3 or 4 disks. So the data whatever you want to store is being splitted into blocks, and each block is being stored in each disks. Okay, so this is what RAID level 0. Since you are not storing any redundant information, so RAID level 0 will not be addressing the reliability property. Okay, even if some disk fails, then you cannot recover the data whatever you have stored in that disk. There is no reliability in RAID level 0. Okay, so RAID level 0 is usually used for storing the video data. Okay, so in video data, even if one disk fails, it is not going to affect much. So in such cases, we can go with RAID level 0. Okay, so this is about RAID level 0. Next one is RAID level 1. In RAID level 1, there is no concept called striping. Say for example, in your RAID, if you have 4 disks, for each disk you will be having a mirrored disk. Or let us be specific, assume that you have one disk in your RAID. So if you have only one disk in your RAID, then for your disk you will be having a mirrored disk. So what I am trying to tell is, for every actual disk you will be having a mirrored disk. Now whenever you store some data, you will be storing the data in the actual disk, and whatever you are storing in the actual data, the same data is also being stored in the mirrored disk. As you could see in the image, whatever you are storing in one disk is also stored in another disk. So you can consider one disk as your actual disk and another disk as your mirrored disk. Okay, so hope everyone can understand the importance of the mirrored disk. So what could be the purpose of mirrored disk? If anything went wrong with your actual disk, then you can recover the data by using the mirrored disk, right? So that is a main point about your RAID level 1. The next comes RAID level 2. In RAID level 2, the data is being splitted in bit level. So bit level striping is used in RAID level 2, and for each data you will be also storing an error correcting code. Okay, so this is a redundant information you will be storing for each data, right? So if you want to store a data, so first it will be striped in bit level, and each bit is being stored in each disk. And for your data, you will be storing an additional information or a redundant information, that is error correcting code for that. Now the purpose of this error correcting code is, if any one disk fails, you can recover the data whatever you have stored in that disk by using the data whatever you have in other disk, and also using your error correcting code, right? Okay, so that's about your RAID level 2. So this RAID level 2 is not being used widely because of its complex structures. Okay, so next level is RAID level 3. Here what happens is bit level striping is being used, and for your data you will be storing in parity information. If you want to store a data, first it will be striped in bit level, and for your data you will be storing and redundant information, that is parity information. Now if any one disk fails, then what we can do is we can recover the data by using the data whatever you have in other disk, and also by using the parity information. Okay, so it is less complex than your RAID level 2. Okay, fine. So next comes RAID level 4. So your RAID level 4 is very similar to that of your RAID level 3. Only difference is, instead of bit level striping, we are going with block level striping. Okay, so whenever you want to store a data, it will be striped in block levels, and each block will be stored in each disk. Then for your entire data, you will be storing in parity information. Okay, so as I discussed earlier, if any one disk fails, you can recover the data whatever you have stored in that disk by using the data whatever you have in other disk, and also using the parity information. Okay, so that's about RAID level 4. The next comes RAID level 5. It is very similar to of your RAID level 4. The only difference is, instead of having a dedicated disk for storing the parity information, the parity information will be stored in your the actual disk where you will be storing the actual data. Okay, so the point is, whenever we want to store a data in RAID level 5, the data will be splitted into blocks, and each block will be stored in each disk, and the parity information for the data will be also stored in the same disk where the data gets stored. Okay, now you could see in the image that, say for example, I have a data. Now I am just splitting the data into two blocks, say for example A0, B0. Now I have 3 disks. So what I am doing is, I am just storing in the first block in first disk, second block in second disk, and third that is a parity information in the third disk. Okay, so the point is, we don't have a dedicated disk for storing the parity information. The parity information will be stored in the disk where you are storing the actual data. So that's the point about your RAID level 5. And the final RAID level is RAID level 6. The highlighting point about RAID level 6 is, it handles even 2 disk failures. The earlier levels, other than your RAID level 0, the other levels, it will be handling only single disk failure. If you take RAID level 3 or 4 or 5, they can handle only single disk failure. But RAID level 6 can handle even if 2 disk fails. You can recover the data in case of RAID level 6. So it is been achieved by using 2 parity informations. So for every data, we will be storing 2 parity informations. Okay, there is a parity information called P, and there is a parity information called Q. So for every data, we will be storing 2 parity informations. And using these 2 parity informations, you can recover the data whatever you have lost in other disks. Okay, so that's about the various RAID levels. Okay, so compared to other RAID levels, your RAID level 6 has additional fault tolerance. Okay, now the last point we have to be clear is the choice of RAID level. Say for example, we decided to go with RAID. Now we have 7 RAID levels. So which RAID level we have to choose with? What are the factors we have to consider? So that is what we are going to discuss now. The factors to be taken into consideration while choosing the appropriate RAID levels. So the first factor is monetary cost. That is initial installation cost. If you want to go with RAID level 1, it will be very expensive. The reason is, for every disk, you will be having a mirror disk. Say for example, if you have 5 disks, then obviously you will be having 5 mirror disk. So for every disk, you will be having a mirror disk. So it will be very expensive one. Okay, so like that, the first factor is monetary cost. So how to what extent you can manage with the cost. If you are okay with the cost, then you can go with some levels. Suppose if you have some financial restrictions, then you can choose appropriate RAID levels. So monetary cost. The second factor is performance requirement in terms of IO operation. So what is your performance requirement? If you feel that whenever you want to store the data, you want the data to be stored very fast, and whenever you want to retrieve the data, you want the data to be retrieved very fast, then you have to go with appropriate RAID levels, either RAID level 4 or 5. So where if performance is your main consideration, then you have to choose appropriate RAID levels. Then the next factor is performance during disk failure. So when your RAID is in active state, say for example the users or the clients have started storing the data in the RAID. Now if some disk fails, to what extent it will be affecting the performance of the RAID? Okay, so if you feel that even during failure my system should perform in the same way, then you have to choose appropriate RAID levels. Okay, suppose if you feel that no, in case of failure I can compromise with the performance, if that is the case, then you can choose appropriate RAID level. So performance during failure. And the last factor is performance during rebuild. The failure has occurred, now the hardware engineers are rectifying the failure. Now during that time, what about the performance? What is your expectation about the performance during that time? If you feel that even during the rebuild time you want the system to be perform good, then you have to choose appropriate RAID levels, right? So these are the 4 factors which we have to consider while choosing the appropriate RAID levels, right? So hope you got some idea about the various RAID levels and also the factors we have to consider while choosing the appropriate RAID level. Wish you all the best, students. Thank you.